let's go ahead and jump into our third and last question. The third and last question is a good question. I've saved the best for last, everybody. The question is, what are some ideas or things your church does that supports you? Okay? This question was asking because I think the church was asking them, what are some ways that we can support you? It's a great question. First of all, a church that is asking that, hold on. Applause to that church. Congrats to that church for asking such a brave and bold question. What can the church do to support you? And I have some suggestions. Aren't you glad? So if you're in a position where you are in a position to say, hey, I can offer the suggestions. I can offer the things that you're looking for. What do you need, right? What do you need? So things you could ask for. You probably have a long list. And these are things that directly affect you. This is not necessarily things that they're not as much benefit to the youth ministry as they are to you. So I'm offering you some tips of things you should ask for. If your church ever says, what can we do to support you? Here they are. Number one, continuing education budget. Things like to take a class, to go to a conference, to get coaching. Put in some continuing education money into your budget, right? That's above it doesn't come out of your salary. It doesn't come out of those things. It is for you to get continuing education so that you can stay on board, stay on top of things. Like I said, whether it's any of the things I mentioned or you come up with your own idea. But as for continuing budget. Number two, health insurance if you don't have it. There's some churches that don't offer health insurance. They're too small or whatever it is. But ask for health insurance. If you're not having health insurance, get some health insurance. Number three, this goes back to the first question. Ask for time off or bonus pay after big events. I've had some people in my church at various times after I've done camp. Somebody will just walk up and give me money and say, or the church has said, hey, thanks for doing that week. And I'm part-time. Here's some extra money. Here's some bonus money. So you know what? So if you say, how can the church support you? Well, go ahead and ask for time off. Say, I need more time off. I need I would like a couple of days of rest that I take off that don't count against me or don't count against my hours. Okay. Or like I said, or bonus pay. There's nothing wrong with that either. And say if you're part-time, especially. If you're full-time, it's a different story. If you're part-time, it's okay to say, hey, I'm not going to set the amount, but if I'm going to take off my job, my regular job, to come do camp, whatever you guys can do to help me do that, help me do that. Okay? All right. You set the amount, whatever you think's fair. And if they give you a check that's not fair the first time, say, let's revisit that. Okay? Number five, sabbatical time based on years served. Ask for a sabbatical. Ask for time to say, hey, look, I'm taking, a week off beyond vacation time, which, by the way, if you don't have vacation time, if you're one of those meat grinder churches where you can't take any time off because things are so important, we can't live life without you. First of all, get out of that church. Number two, get out of there. But ask for some sabbatical time. Ask for an extra week. And that you spend that sabbatical time however you want. Spend it going on retreat, personal retreat. Spend it going to a conference. Spend it at home doing nothing, which is okay too. Okay? So yeah, do that. Sabbatical time. 6, gas allowance mileage. If you're far away from the church, if you're driving, if they say, look, the church said, how can we support you better? Well, how about some gas allowance? That would be helpful, especially when gas prices are high. They're saying, hey, here, we want to help you. Or maybe they give you a gas card, once a month. Say, look, here's an extra $100 in gas money you can use. And then while you're there, pick up some of that Hunt's Brothers pizza. You know what I'm talking about, right? You ever eat Hunt's Brothers pizza? They have breakfast pizza. Breakfast pizza. That's right. So if you go to go to a gas station near you and get yourself some Hunt's Brothers pizza. Excuse me, I need a drink here. So yeah, you get to get gas and snacks. So yeah, ask for gas allowance, mileage. Number 7, vacation time. That just should be standard. And the last thing is budget for interns. Budget for interns. That's right. How can we support the youth ministry better? Well, I'd like a small budget to get some interns to help me in certain areas. This is especially if you're full-time. If you're full-time and you're wanting to expand and grow, then go ahead and say, help me out here for a season, for 3 months. Let me have an intern where I pay them $100 a week or $200 a week for a limited amount of time to do something very specific, whether that's doing visitation and visiting kids, whether that's doing some sort of school outreach, whether that's running an after-school program. Give me some budget money that makes my life a little bit easier. Okay, that's the key. I got friends texting me this. It says this looks like dark beer. No, sir. It's go-go juice. It's not wine. It's a like an energy drink, but with water. So there's that. Dan, calling you out, Dan. But yeah, so those are the things that I think are critical. That if a church is going to support you, those are some ideas. That if a church cares about what your life is like as a minister, they want to keep you healthy, they want to keep you moving forward, they want to keep you a part of the youth ministry, they want to keep you a part of the church, then those are 8 things that you should be asking for maybe that are going to help you, right, last a little bit longer in youth ministry. And I think that's what the church should be doing. The church should be helping youth pastors stay longer, not figuring out ways to burn you out and tear you up and use you up and then throw you away, or use you up to the point where you can't function anymore and you have to quit. It's just crazy what we do. It's crazy. And that's not just youth pastors. That's children's pastors. That's associate pastors. That's all, utility staff. I just think that's crazy. Why do we do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. So yes, it's okay to ask for things for yourself. The work of God will go forward. The minister will stay healthy, and we spread the wealth around a little bit. Okay? It's really that simple.